everybody's saying that Geno Smith, he doesn't. I mean, what else does he need? Like most Jets fans hate him. They still crack jokes about him getting punched in the jaw. People think that he delivered the Raiders to the first overall pick
because he's not a superstar. He's a role player, and role players don't find themselves on long-term contracts anymore. They just don't. Is it Geno Smith versus the quarterback room? Because I mean, me and you know that Cade Klubnik is talented, but I've seen some of the things that you said in spaces, and I think you're kind of towards the camp of like, let's just see what we got. Geno was in a really bad situation. You're bringing a veteran in, and the best thing that he can do is pass on like Kirk Cousins is going to do down there in Las Vegas. This could be a segue into making a great quarterback out of Cade Klubnik from everything that Geno Smith is going through. There's not a journey in the NFL kind of as unique as Geno Smith's. We've seen him at the lows of lows with this team. We've seen him be a free agent. We've seen him take some time off. We've seen him replace a Russell Wilson, and everybody remembers the interview after that, the first game of the season. He had a couple good seasons, then ends up at Las Vegas flipping the fans off, and now he kind of gets not a fresh start, but back to a familiar place in a totally different outlook. It's kind of unique, but is the 2027 quarterback class tempting, or are you kind of, let's see what we got with Geno and Cade before we even start talking about the quarterback of the future?
I'm at the point now where for me, it's all about getting a quarterback, and I don't care how it gets done, but I think the best case scenario, and people aren't going to like this, but I really don't care, is that Geno can give you some marginal quarterback play. So whether he's the 12th best quarterback somewhere to the 20th best quarterback, if you can get that Geno Smith, let's say you can get the 18th best quarterback play out of Geno Smith for 13 games this season, and you can properly evaluate the weapons that you have. So you can even though you and I both know what Garrett Wilson is, I think Garrett Wilson's a stud, but if you can properly evaluate Omar Cooper Jr., Mason Taylor, A.D. Mitchell, even Isaiah Williams and Kenyon Sadiq, now you can properly evaluate this team. So now going forward, it's like, okay, if Cam Coleman is on the board when I'm picking, I know, and this is just for argument's sake, I know that Omar Cooper Jr. could be a number 2, and A.D. Mitchell on most Sundays is going to be a 2, but he'll probably settle into a number 3. So I don't need to exhaust another premium pick on a wide receiver. I can now go get Austin Seaverbold. I hope I said his name right, from Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Or I can go get a linebacker, or just go fill another position of need, or I can go get a center. I was clamoring for them to get a center in the 4th round of last year. Now you can properly evaluate this team. I think not only was tanking bad, and I think tanking poisons an organization. I think it even poisons a fan base, because half of the fan base is brain dead now. All they know how to do is do mock drafts.
You're looking at hope of your team on a tank.
Yeah.
And that's just like it to me. It's like taking the girl that's cheated on you 5 times and say, I can change her.
Yeah,
it doesn't give me much hope.
I used that exact analogy the other day. I was like, you're dating the town bad girl. That's not the word I use, but you're dating the town bad girl, and and you don't want to date those. You don't want to date those. So it sucks, because I think that you wasted last year, but you still weren't even able to properly evaluate A.D. Mitchell. He was always open, but Brady Cook couldn't hit him. So I think if anything, this year should be about, I'm so glad you said that,
because I saw the same thing, and I'm not an A.D. Mitchell guy, but he has changed since his college days into being I think what you learn from the Colts is like the half effort that I was giving in college, because that was my biggest critique of him. He gave all the effort in the world last year, and Brady just couldn't get it to him. And I saw that on film. I'm like, wait until he gets a quarterback here.
Yeah.
I love your wide receiver. I love your receiving room, just with the potential of what those guys could be. But go ahead, not to cut you off.
No, you're good, because that's where I'm at too. Because I've been this Jets fan before. You know what I'm saying? I tell people this joke all the time. When I was at Radio City Music Hall, when the Jets drafted Stephen Hill in the 2nd round, and I was like, this guy is going to be B tier of Calvin Johnson. They were running the triple option, this guy. So I've been that fan that's super hyped. But now I'm just in a mode where just show me. I would love to be wrong and just show me. You watch the All-22, AD Mitchell's wide open. Brady Cook just couldn't get him the ball. But he's also had some concentration drop issues as well. And I think that when you're bigger, faster, and just better than everyone, your effort level doesn't always stay consistent. But I think now he understands he's playing for his football life. And that's why I think this is a good opportunity for this team, because now they can develop this mentality like it's us against the world. Everybody's writing off Aaron Glenn. Everybody says Frank Reich is a dinosaur. He's too old. Everybody's saying that Geno Smith, he doesn't, what else does he need? Like most Jets fans hate him. They still crack jokes about him getting punched in the jaw. People think that he delivered the Raiders to the first overall pick. AD Mitchell, you're playing for your football life. Will McDonald on the other side of the ball. You're 27-year-old. This is a contract year for you, basically. This is, it's time to put up another double-digit sack season, or you're going to be playing on one-year deals for the rest of your career. Jamie Sherwood, are you worth $15 million as a linebacker? There's a lot of questions. Minkah Fitzpatrick, are you cooked? AZ Thomas, can you be a number one? Everybody keeps questioning your long speed because you ran a 40 at your pro day hurt. So everyone keeps questioning you.
And I always give the analogy to my friends that are kind of like casuals that don't pay attention to everything. I said, what you have to realize in today's NFL, and this even goes to the coaching as well, and I hate to be this wide open about this, but it's the truth. You're either Myles Garrett or you're Jadeveon Clowney. What's the difference between both of them? One is an absolute superstar that everybody wants, regardless of how old he is, because he produces every single year, versus Jadeveon Clowney, who is consistent, gets you to 5 to 6 sacks every year. But guess what? In the old days, that dude would have been an all-timer. Like, no, we're not changing off him. He might gatekeep a number 3, position on our our edge rusher board, and he's going to be a part of this team. In today's NFL, that's why he's been bouncing around from team to team to team. Yannick Ngakoue is a perfect example of that. He's Jadeveon Clowney 2.0. The dude was averaging 7.5 sacks a year. And everybody would say, man, I would take that guy in a second. But why is he now posting workout videos talking about I'm still trying to find myself on the team? Because he's not a superstar. He's a role player, and role players don't find themselves on long-term contracts anymore. They just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that the word I used on Jake's show one time is, you're desperate, and that this is probably going to be your last shot for a lot of these guys. But I think that when your back is against the wall, when you can develop that identity of is us against them, I think special things can happen. So, on August 27th, I think 7 wins is doable. And for some reason, people think that I'm being, I get called a super fan just because I think that they can win, especially if they can start off 2-0. The Josh Jacobs information just came out. We'll see what happens with that. But again, I think that Tennessee is a winnable game. I got to see 4 years of Robert Saleh as a head coach, and just call me not impressed. Maybe I'm a little jaded because it was just a lot of drama that went on. But again, one thing that Robert Saleh hates to see coming is extended time to prepare. And he's going to have a ton of time to prepare. And I think that he has some built-in excuses there. So we're truly going to see, go down there and kick Robert Saleh's ass, and then come home with the whiteout. The Packers missing arguably their 2 of their top 3 best players, and Micah Parsons and Josh Jacobs, and really make something happen. Next thing you know, you're 2-0, and then all bets are off.
Yeah. People are looking at the Jets a little differently. And it is interesting. I think it's a healthy competition in that quarterback room where Geno's not feeling threatened, but also Cade is playing at a level where he's not scared of Geno either. And I think that's great. I think that's a healthy relationship. And you have Brady there that's got a little bit of experience that has kind of like reminding Cade, like, you could be me or you could be better than Geno at this point. That needs to kind of be your gauge for the future.